and she would not have been the first. In fact, I distinctly remember the first person to ever fuck my name up. It was my mother. Speaking of my mother, I hope you're all as ready to be as disappointed in me as she's going to be when she hears this story. So I recently moved here from a little state called Vermont. Great place, cold and white, and that's just not just because of the snow. Whitest place I ever lived, swear to God. So I had a lot of firsts in Vermont, a lot of firsts, you know. First legal beer, first legal weed, first time hitchhiking. This story is about another first. So while I was living in Vermont, I lived in what's called a punk house. It's kind of like a squat. You guys know what a squat is? Well, it's a squat where you have to pay rent. So while I was living there, one of our roommates moved out, and we had to get another one real quick. So they moved in this little baby twat girl from in town. And her first night there, she throws this raging. There's like 15 kids there, and I'm not even joking when I say kids. They're somewhere between the ages of 15 and 18. All right, I'm 21 at this point, so I have the right to call them kids now. So I get there, and they're all there just hanging out and drinking and smoking weed, and I'm like, you know what, I did this shit when I was their age, fuck, I'm still doing this shit, whatever. As long as I can monitor them, it's kind of responsible, whatever. So they're not out there getting caught doing shit. I set down some rules. No banging. No banging in the living room, I sleep here. I happen to sleep on that dirty mattress everyone else is banged on. Fucking terrible. So, I probably should have laid some more ground rules. Because they spend some time blasting music, disturbing the neighbors. Cops don't even show up here anymore. They roll by, give us a dirty look, and keep going. And a couple of hours into the party, one of them whips out a bag of Coke, and I'm just like, what the fuck? These are kids. Kids, one of which happens to be my pot dealer. I felt really bad about that. This little fucking entrepreneur kid, fucking asshole. Good weed though. Great prices. So, they whip out a bag of Coke, and my mind is like, what? What? Okay, I was not doing that at that age. Holy shit. And the kid looks me dead in the eyes like, you want to join in? And in my brain, I'm like, is this kid shitting me? Is this kid shitting me? I'm the oldest person here, and he thinks that because I let them hang out and do their shit, that I'm just going to participate in this? And while my mind is doing this, my body proceeds to do 3 lines back to back. Yeah. And that's the story of the first time I did Coke. 21, bunch of teenagers. God damn it. I feel ashamed of myself. Good time, though. So, recently moved back from Vermont. Quite a trip. I stopped in quite a few places. I roughed it part of the way, too. I went from Vermont to New York. A lot of fun. Spent some time in New York. Really great. And put on some weight there. Cheap food, good food. Accidentally wandered into New York Comic Con. That was great. Holy shit. Holy shit. Nerdgasm. Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. I went from New York to Chicago. That was great. Not really. Really cold, really busy. And the first few hours on your way into Chicago, smog. The whole way. Everything's yellow, like you used a shitty Instagram filter on it. Terrible. But other than that, it was kind of fun. And I went from Chicago to New Orleans. That was great. My first day there, my first day in New Orleans, I knock off everything I wanted to do. I get a tattoo, I get some beignets and a muffaletta, and I listen to some jazz music. It was awesome. I then proceeded to camp out underneath the nearest overpass to where I needed to hitchhike out, about 3 blocks away from the local homeless encampment where a chick was stabbed 3 days before. That was sketchy. I slept great though. Great. On my way out, I got picked up hitchhiking because that's how I was getting around. I'm on my way to Texas to meet up with my sister. And my first ride is this dude who's, a little bit sketchy, but I need to get where I'm going, so fuck it. I get in the car and he proceeds to tell me a mile or so in that the only reason he picked me up is because his girlfriend got out a while back because she couldn't handle her dope. And I'm like, fuck. Now I'm looking at the guy and I'm like, yep, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. And this is the point where I should get out of the car, right? And be like, okay, this is good, you can drop me here. No, I got places to be. I got places to be and a time limit to be there. So I just keep going. And it was great. And I eventually make it to Texas. And I spend some time with my sister and her husband. And that was a lot of fun. And then I make it here. And I'm just so excited to be back in Oregon. I'm so excited to be back in Oregon. I walked into my first dispensary recently. Holy shit. That was a religious experience. Oh my God. I remember when making dabs was dangerous. Now I can just go into a store and get some. What? What? That's great. That's great. I don't have to go find a 15-year-old anymore. No shame in that anymore. Shame-free weed. That is a new concept to so many of us, isn't it? It's like most of you guys are definitely older than me. Yeah? How many of you smoke weed? It's okay. It's okay. It's legal. Yeah, right? How many of you have been sketched the hell out going to some shady lengths just to get some weed, man? Yeah. See? Yeah. That park down by the ghetto corner of the neighborhood, those sketchy-ass motherfuckers who don't just sell weed. Probably a couple of kids in the back of the park doing whippets. Yep. Chugging 40s. It's great. Don't have to do that anymore. Now I'm the sketchy-ass person in the park, selling not just weed and chugging 40s. It's great. I love it. I love it. I am now that person that people warn their kids about. Yeah? Yeah, right? What an improvement. Okay. That's really all I have. I actually drew that out quite a bit. Thank you guys for listening.